Hi, everybody. My name is Julie Goldman. I teach sixth grade English language arts. I'm going to work through a slideshow. There's a little bit of an introduction, basic class format, Schoology, reading expectations, and grades. As I said before, I'm Julie Goldman. I taught about 15 years or so at Echo Park before I came here to Valley, where I've been for the last 7 years. I am married with 3 children. I have a 20-year-old daughter, Sophie, a 17-year-old daughter, Sadie, a 10-year-old daughter, a 10-year-old son, Arnie, and in August, we brought home a new puppy named Simon. As you know, ELA is a double block. Our class meets for 2 periods, so I always tell the kids it is a reading and writing class. So if it takes a little bit more time, it might be the fact that we are a 2-hour block. In class, we read daily, we review, we learn new content, we practice, as well as share out. We're going to talk a little bit about Schoology. If you are not in Schoology as a parent, we're going to talk about how valuable that is at the end and how to do that. So Schoology is our main tool. There's a general resources folder that's green in the material section. So if your child clicks on that, they can find a variety of links that might help them for different situations. So that is something that they should just look at, as well as you might want to look at it if in fact you are interested in or struggling with something or interested in getting more information. We have weekly folders, daily folders, as well as daily assignments. I'm going to talk about all of them. So our weekly folders right now are blue and look like this. Every day of the week, our week goes from Thursday to Monday. So if you click on a week, it's always at the top. So I'll click on last week, October 22nd. And within that folder, you see a couple different things. You see a peak of the week I'm going to talk about, as well as daily folders. So the peak of the week is always at the top of each week. And in the peak of the week, it just points out and highlights the different things that we will be doing one day at a time. So you can see last week looked like this. So notice at the bottom of every day, we encourage students to read and log their reading. So every week we'll have a peak of the week. Back to daily folders and assignments. Within each week, there's also these daily folders, as I said earlier, and I'm going to click on an example of assignments. So if I go back into this folder and I go into Thursday, October 22nd, and I click on the assignment, here is what is expected. I always have steps listed out. Links are always attached. Anything they need for the lesson is always included. So each day there is a folder for students to be clicking on that has something for them to do. We already talked about the peak of the week. And lastly, we're going to talk about in Schoology, another critical thing to notice is the calendar. Every day students should be looking at their calendar. Here on this side talks about what's upcoming. If they click on the calendar at the top, your students should already have all of their classes color-coded. So this is just an example of mine, but they should have math and Minnesota studies in every class in a different color. I always remind the kids that they should be checking out their calendar daily. So one of our expectations in class is that they read daily. So I say about 30 minutes a day. We have a spot to keep track of our reading. We have requirements, a reading list, and a reading log. Here's an example of the reading requirements. It's in the blue journal. If they don't have a blue journal, they would just write it down in their notebook. They have 2 realistic, 2 historical fiction, 1 between fantasy and sci-fi, 1 informational, and 1 free choice book for this trimester. And if, of course, they read more than 7, they would tally then on the right-hand side all the books they're reading. I have what's called a reading list also in their journals. If they don't have that, they would write it down on a piece of paper. They'll turn this in at the end of the trimester. So here I've just outlined the two realistic, the two historical fiction, the one science fiction or fantasy informational, and the one hybrid as well. The students also have a reading log in their materials. They click on their log and it will tell them how to log in and report and record the book that they're reading, as well as the page they start on. And that is something they submit every time they read as well. Here's our units of study. As you can see, all of our skills over here are included in different places within our units of study. Grading, students should be consistently looking at their grades. I suggest parents do too. I do accept late work. I encourage students to keep up the best that they can. Our learning often reflects on things we've done in the past. We have a different setup of grades. We do an A, B, C. We do in progress for kids who are struggling. So yes, students and parents should consistently be checking missing work. There are symbols within their gradebook. These are different symbols. This piece of paper in their gradebook means they've submitted a piece of paper. If they have this symbol missing and nothing's submitted, then nothing has been turned in. So if they ever tell you, I turned that in, you can simply ask to see their gradebook and you can identify whether they turned it in. Here's a symbol for a quiz. Here's a symbol for a discussion if that's their assignment. And many assignments, or not most, will have a piece of paper. So once an assignment becomes missing, it stays missing until it gets graded. So if missing assignments are showing up and their teacher hasn't graded their things, then they can reach out to the teacher and let them know. They can just send me an email. However, sometimes it stays missing because they've turned in the wrong assignment. So be sure to just check in with them about that. Schoology, as I talked about at the beginning, Sean.Lindquist is a great resource, Sean.Lindquist@district196.org, for any help on how to get signed up for Schoology or any other Schoology help along the way. It is our primary tool that we use for teaching, for assignments. We expect that kids follow the directions, watch videos, communicate their learning to me. And Schoology offers a variety of things as well. I can be reached anytime at julie.goldman@district196.org. I Zoom with C Kids every Monday with 1-2, Thursday or Tuesdays with hours 3-4, Thursdays for 5-6, and Fridays for advisory. If students need any sort of help, I'm happy to email with them, talk with them on the phone, or Zoom with them as well. Please reach out to me if you need me. Thank you.